Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 7 of the Audible Farm podcast. I am your host. My name is Peter Stockdale. I want to let everybody know that Audible Farm is on most social media platforms. We've got Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We are on Spotify. We are on iTunes. We are hosted on SoundCloud, and it's a great place. I'm enjoying it there so far. The stats are looking great. We've got listeners from across the state, listeners from Minnesota, handful of people from Omaha tuning in. I'm enjoying that. Hey guys, what's up? Um, this week I sit down with Dakota Cairns. He's from TV Cop, based out of Ottumwa, Iowa. I first got introduced to Dakota. He was the drummer in the band Sports Team, and then they ended up changing their name to TV Cop. And then they've had a couple of lineup changes, and we sat down before a show that he was going to play in Des Moines at Boggs Hole Avenue Tavern, and he was actually going to be playing guitar and singing. So I guess you could call him a multi-instrumentalist. He plays a handful of different instruments. I've seen him in one band with two different names. Um, Sports Team was actually one of the first bands that I ever recorded audio and video for and then put online. And I've actually got that on the Audible Farm channel on YouTube if you wanted to check that out. I also have a couple of TV Cop concerts on there as well from different shows that they played in Des Moines area. So if you want to check that out, that'd be awesome. Otherwise, let's get on with the interview. This is episode 7 with Dakota Cairns.
It's the Audible Farm podcast with your host, Peter Stockdale.
All right. What's up, man?
How's it going?
Yeah, it's going pretty good. Sitting down today with Dakota Cairns. That's he's from the Ottumwa area. Does that sound right?
Yes, southeast Iowa.
Southeast Iowa, rocking the lower quadrant of the state. I originally got in touch with you. We played a show together. Maybe like a year or two ago.
I think it was like September 2017.
Yeah, that was a surprising show because I had like a lot of stuff going on that day, and I had to leave town. And then I was like, I'll stick around and listen to these guys' first song.
Just one.
And then it ended up being something I really enjoyed. I don't even know what I would describe your guys' music style as, but it was somewhere in like the less than Jake-ish kind of sound, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe not quite that, but it's like some pop punky kind of.
A lot of people say less than Jake. I've never really listened to him.
Yeah.
So I mean, I
think
so.
Listening to some on the way down
Yeah.
here, but yeah, it's good stuff. I really enjoy your guys' music, so
Nice.
I got to know you guys a little bit in Sports Team. That was the band you guys were in. But I'm sitting down with you today. We're going to talk a little bit about like the bands you were in growing up. You had mentioned once to me that you booked shows when you were younger, and so we'll talk a little bit about that. But let's get going. Like, what kind of bands were you in, like growing up? Like, how young were you when you were in your first band?
13. Me and another kid that was in my grade started playing at the exact same time. Like Christmas of 6th grade, like 2004, he got a guitar and I got a drum set.
Nice.
So it just fucking worked out like that. And we started playing like She Fucking Hates Me by Puddle of Mud and like Knocking on Heaven's Door by Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
It was like stuff like that. And then we just like played like a couple birthday parties in junior high, like in 8th grade for like kids in our class.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, and then I started booking at this music store in town so we could play. And then, yeah, me and him didn't keep playing. Like in high school, I hit 9th grade.
Yeah.
And I joined a grindcore band called They Might Have AIDS. And we had 3 vocalists and a guitar player and TP. And TV Cop played bass. That's he was in that band too, Roses for Redemption.
All right.
And that's how we met him, was in that music store. And so we played like Pancake Day, like community events. I lied and I would tell my high school we were a jazz band. And we'd get these like really embarrassing gigs for people that booked us.
Oh, man. But, well, I guess it's exposure. One way or another. I mean, that's the young person mentality.
Yeah, I was like, fuck it. I'm going to lie to all of these people.
Oh, yeah. Like, I feel the analogy. When I had a band in high school, I'd be like, I'm going to play this song by Newfound Glory, and it's an analogy for a book that I read, and this is my book report.
Yeah.
And the teachers were like, what?
That doesn't work like
no.
that.
And I'd just be like, no, I swear to God.
That's how it is.
So I'd write a paper on how it's an analogy, and it has
Yeah.
nothing, But anyways, so you're booking shows at 13. What you said you worked at a music store. What's the,
No, it would just I would hang out there. I would skip school and hang out there.
What kind of a music store are we talking?
It was really shitty. It sold New York Pro stuff, and then it'd get some good used things every once in a while, but it was all low end.
All right, so it's like a music equipment type store.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And it was in Centerville, so it didn't nobody cared.
Yeah, kind of.
Just the few people that grabbed onto it was oh, this is sweet.
Yeah, that's the small town music shop. Either kind of stays or goes, and it seems like there's a tight knit group of people that hang out at.
And it was at right at or right before MySpace got big.
Yeah.
So it was that's where we were all going and talking.
Yeah, so
and meeting people. I met dudes that were way older than me and played with them that connections I still have.
oh, sweet.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the pre-social media blow up. Because I was talking to someone about that. Before social media, all you had was MSN Messenger or chat rooms or forum boards.
Yeah.
And even forum boards were kind of cool because you get a hold of people. But so you hang out at this music shop, you get to know some people, you're playing some shows. What kind of did you book shows with other bands on them too?
Yeah, I would book this thing by the time I was booking shows, but then by the time I was a sophomore, I was I think I can do bigger shit. So
Yeah.
I booked this thing called Shock Fest, and I brought 10 bands down
Okay.
and put it in the alternative high school gym. And
All
100
right.
kids showed up.
Jeez.
Because nobody down there had ever done that. It's a town of 6,000 people.
All right.
So I bring all these metal bands down.
Okay.
Infidus, Prevail in the Hail of Gunfire, Approaching Nain, Optimist. They all turned into big band, Stand United, and they Cheney Crab from Prevail in the Hail of Gunfire is in Entheos.
All right.
With the dude from Animals as Leaders and
Oh, sweet.
Animosity and shit. So it all turned into that, and then I did it one more time, and 250 kids showed up into this sale barn, animal sale barn, and then the town basically was no more. We're good.
Yeah.
So I couldn't find any buildings for the rest of whatever. I booked a show at the National Guard Armory for Appanoose County.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, a kid got busted for weed in the parking lot.
That was federal property.
Yeah, he was screwed.
Classic. I mean, that seems to be a good place to do shows, though. I've been to pro wrestling shows at National Guard Armories pretty often.
There's security.
Yeah, there's plenty of it too. But they're actually pretty cool places. They they for the most part just let you do whatever you want to do to the venue. I mean, with respect to the venue.
Yeah, you pay money, so they're whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So you're booking shows. I first started came in contact with sports team. How far in between then and now?
Oh fuck.
How many years have passed between you booking shows in high school with traveling bands coming to your small town?
About probably 12 years.
Oh geez. So what do we got to do to fill in the gap there? What all did you?
Oh man, I've seriously done so much different shit. I dropped out of college to play guitar in a cover band, a bar band with a bunch of old dudes. That's how I cut my teeth, was playing Eagles and old Merle Haggard shit.
That's awesome.
Where they would just be we'd be playing live and they'd just throw me a solo. I'd be and then I was just had to do it. I played Irish folk music. We were a house band at a fancy restaurant.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, dude. I tried doing hip hop stuff with people, making beats and shit. A little bit of dabble in whatever I could.
Yeah, just anything to see what sticks, kind of.
I mean, metal bands. I was in a bunch of metal bands.
Yeah, it's Iowa. That's
Yeah,
where it goes.
and it's Ottumwa, so that's literally all there was.
Yeah.
The music scene down there was crazy from probably 2004 or 5 to 7.
Why do you think it was so big?
I don't know. I have no idea, but there's so many badass bands that I think still stand up to just being fucking just shred. Well, Well Dressed Man was nuts. You were scared. You were fucking scared, terrified.
So you pretty much, you said you cut your teeth playing I guess you would call it classic rock and or somewhere around that rock and country kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ended up cutting my teeth pretty much playing in a church.
Oh, okay.
So I was
yeah.
in like a church group, and that's how I kind of got my start playing music. For anybody, I guess that wants to know. But man, thanks for showing up to this show. I'm sitting here with him before a show. We're gonna play a show here in just a little bit at Boggs Hole Avenue Tavern in Des Moines. How far of a drive?
Hour and a half.
Hour and a half.
Mhm.
That's not too bad.
That's about that. Basically, what we drive for almost any show.
Yeah, it seems like it because you guys are kind of stuck. How far is it to Keokuk from where you're at? Like, if you want to do a show there,
Hour and a half.
Yeah,
Iowa City's an hour and a half. Yeah.
Wow. So you are kind of like in the sweet spot or not so sweet spot.
Right, but then when we play Fort Dodge, it's 3 hours one way.
Yeah, you're all the way up in my neck of the woods then.
Yeah.
That's a 2 hour drive for me to go down to Des Moines here. So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, what do you think of the travel? You guys travel quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, like, I like it. This is the first show we've ever been in a van.
Yeah.
So, like, it's always been, like, 2 or 3 vehicles.
Yeah.
Like, taking everything.
That's always seems to be the way it goes.
Yeah.
I mean, I like to travel solo. I'm kind of stuck to I have to because I live so far away from all
Right,
my
yeah.
bandmates. But
I like it. I want to be on the road more.
yeah.
It'd probably save us a bunch of money if we would just tour instead of playing, like, 20 shows in the summer and they're all spaced out.
Exactly.
So...
Yeah. I was talking to a couple bands earlier that they just set up like little mini tours that take like a week and they just play 7 shows and 7 nights and just sleep in the van and call it good.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be a nice way to knock out a handful of shows for exposure in the summertime.
Right. I always wanted to do the Dead Ramones thing where they're like, in Modern Life is War, in the song Dead Ramones, they were like 28 shows, 28 days. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, fuck.
That'd be crazy.
That's like, that's intense.
Yeah, especially if you hit like 28 states or something.
Yeah.
That'd be some gnarly numbers. So when did you guys decide to start a pop punk band?
I think we were originally probably going to do covers. I think
Yeah.
it was going to be like a little bar band.
That's not a bad idea, actually.
Right. But then I started, like, I had a couple songs and I was like, I think we could do this. But I think probably like February of 2017
All right.
was when we like started playing.
Oh, geez. So it's like only 6 months before I saw you guys play.
Yeah, we played 1 show and then the next month we had 4.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
How many shows did you have under your belt before I saw you?
You guys, this was maybe our 4th or 5th show.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Were all of them out of town?
The first, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you do a hell of a job booking. That's for sure.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's basically haggling. Like,
yeah, and I talk to some people. Like I know a guy that's a car salesman that likes to do all the booking for his band, and he's just like, yeah, I mean, it works. He likes talking to people, you know,
Yeah.
and being like, well, is it this much or that much, and what can you deal with, and maybe we can work something out.
Yeah.
and yada. So he's pretty savvy. I think you are too, because
I try.
I mean, you guys book a ton of shows. It always seems like you guys are doing 4, 5, 6 shows a month every month.
Which is either good or bad.
Yeah, I mean,
Oversaturation or not. I don't. It could be argued, I guess.
yeah, but you guys, you tend to not do the shows in the same town. So
Yeah, we
that's,
try to space it out as much as possible.
yeah, I totally get that because I mean, we'd played here in Des Moines this year, but like almost 1 show a month at Vaudeville, and it's like after a while you're like, man, do we need to go to the Vaudeville this month? And then it's like, well, we should go to Boggs this month, and,
Right.
and so we went to Hull Avenue, but like a couple years ago, all we ever did was play at Hull. So that was 2017. We played like I think 12 or 13 shows at Hull.
Oh shit.
But I mean, we'd bail out bookers that were band dropped off. So it's like, yeah, we'll show up and play a show or whatever.
Right.
It's no big deal. I like playing shows, and Des Moines, the market to go do it in.
Oh yeah.
What do you think is your like if you had to give anybody out there a little bit of advice for booking a show, what do you think it would be?
Oh fuck. Oh. I don't know. There's so much shit that like to watch out for.
Do you do like cold calls? Like,
Yeah, I'll hit people up. Like, don't be like, you can't be afraid to be like, I play in this band. Here's all the links you need. I want to play this show, or I want to play this venue. Is there anything like you can't be like, oh, I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
There's a way to do it without being that guy.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a business way to approach it. That like, I have a, you have to look at it as a brand.
Exactly.
Like if you want your band to like work out a little bit better than anybody else's, it has to be like a fucking business.
Yeah.
So you have to be like, Yeah, you have to be professional. It can't be like wishy-washy, and you can't seem flighty, and you have to seem like you have your shit together.
Exactly.
So yeah, Jump into it though. Like
I feel like the not seeming flighty is probably the toughest thing because I mean everybody's got. I feel like this comes up every podcast, but like everyone's a musician as like maybe a hobby 1st because we all have jobs and lives and things to go to. But yeah, it does kind of suck when you try to get a hold of people. And even like venues where it's like I sent them a message and 9 days later they sent me something back, so I replied, and then 3 weeks went by and they sent something back. And it's like, well, that sucks, but maybe it's just the nice way of them saying no. You know,
and it's gonna be a bunch of no's.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a lot of no's.
So just don't be scared of the no. Then definitely,
right, and it sucks. I mean, it's not really like not every no sucks, but some no's are like, damn.
Yeah.
Other no's are like, all right, fuck you. You know, like I got a copy paste 2 years in a row. Like I hit this thing, and I was like, hey, we'd like to play, and they like sent me this big long thing.
All right.
And then the next year they sent me the same big long
same thing.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm actually good. You
Yeah.
know?
All right. Then that's just one of the, they're being professional to a sense. So you're just like, well, I better not. I'll just not hit them up next year or whatever. You know,
they don't want me.
That's their way of saying no twice. So I guess that makes sense. So you played drums the first time I saw you, and from what I understand, you're gonna be playing guitar tonight.
Yeah, and singing.
What did you play first?
Well, I learned what's the heart and soul on piano in like 3rd grade.
Yeah.
I was taking lessons for like 3 months in 3rd grade.
All right.
Dropped that. Was like and then I got a drum set. Drum turned into bass.
Yep.
Bass turned into guitar.
Yep. Seems like a natural progression.
Yeah. Then you learn your chords, and then so you can play basically anything with strings.
Yep.
So then that turned me into playing mandolin, or that turned me into like whatever. But yeah, I can play piano. I like jazz. I like playing jazz, and
sweet.
Yeah, this is my writing band. Like this is the band I want to write for.
Yep.
Not the other things is like I want to play. I want to just sit down and play.
Yeah, just jam around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely liked, I don't know, my playing style definitely is not punk based, nor is it really metal based. Like my playing style is pretty jammy and bluesy,
right.
But like I still feel like the talents for the other styles of music you enjoy might lend themselves to like whatever style you particularly might be playing. So like what you said you played the drums first. Do you think that ended up like being helpful rhythm wise for playing other instruments?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think playing drums is probably the best thing to start out on.
It makes sense.
Like, and then like if you get good at drums or at least competent with rhythm, and then your chords on guitar, piano is easy as fuck.
Yeah,
it really is. Like in a night, I learned Rocket Man. Like I got my piano and I was just like, oh right, it's playing drums and guitar at the same time, essentially.
Yeah, makes sense. I feel like if you kind of go around and find bands or people that are learning music for the first time, sometimes I feel like rhythm might be the hardest part.
Oh yeah.
Everybody's staying in time with one another. It's definitely not easy, and it's something. I guess I feel like it takes the whole band getting together to work on because not every band has the same rhythmic feel.
Right.
I guess
practice is a big deal, man. Like
it
gets
definitely
underplayed a lot. It's very underrated.
I think so. We played a house show last year, and when we got done, like right after a set was over, somebody yells, "Man, you guys practice too much!" And I was like, "Wait, what? Wait, well, that doesn't make any sense."
Yeah.
Which just I guess it's heralded as like a ridiculously high compliment, but still, it's kind of an odd one.
We were doing 5 days a week for a year and a half, almost 2 years.
Yeah, it showed.
Yeah, but we definitely are now with like the lineup change and stuff. We're gonna steer away. From from burning ourselves out super hard, super fast.
Yeah, and I mean that definitely happens too. I guess I'm the only guy in Three Finger Betty that travels, but in Unity for a while we were all traveling. Like everybody was traveling to a central location to do the practice, which was okay. But if you got to do it every week, it kind of gets you burned out. You know, especially if everybody's got to drive 2 or 3 hours to get to the play. It kind of sucks. But I don't know. I've never been in the situation where I can be with somebody and practice in a band with them like every single day.
Yeah, this is the first time. That was the first time I'd been in a situation where we could even like get together every day.
Yeah.
So we all worked at night and.
Yeah, I mean, so you guys would play during the day, practice your practice.
1 o'clock.
That's pretty.
We'd play till like 3, and then most time we'd go to work by like 5.
That's pretty awesome. So you guys all kind of had night jobs, or if everybody
we all worked together basally. Yeah.
That's pretty. Well, I guess that would be awesome. I guess that would be pretty cool and kind of not. Do you guys ever get, like, I guess would get kind of tiring seeing each other all the time. It'd be like living with your family the whole time,
It's awful. That's why. Yeah, that's why we have a new lineup. Basically,
Yeah.
it happens. We get, people get sick of each other, and
Dude, yeah,
that's a lot of time to spend with people.
It does happen. I feel like every single band kind of goes through this eventually, and yeah, like you said, I feel like everybody, when you create something out of your brain that is an audible piece of art, I feel like it takes a whole lot of mental capacity.
Dude, yeah, it's exhausting.
From every person in the band. And you all have to, I mean, it's going to sound hippy-dippy, but you kind of all have to channel it all together.
Yeah.
And you have to stay locked in on that. And
Same page shit. Like,
yeah, and disruptions can cause that to kind of go awry, it feels like.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, just one person having an off day will kind of disrupt that for the generality. And it does suck, but it does happen. Like, I feel like even just in playing a show, it can happen. You know, like that's where... Maybe sometimes that's where the rhythm section thing comes in, where you have maybe just one guy having an off night. It kind of throws everything out of whack just a little bit.
Yeah. Anything can happen.
Yeah. So you, what do you like playing better, the drums or the guitar? Guitar?
Yeah. I'm stoked.
Yeah. I'm pretty stoked to see you. I guess I've never seen you play the guitar other than...
I'm not stoked to sing. 1,000% unstoked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You still gonna try and do the singing from here on out, or
no? Fuck no.
Looking
we have these like 3 shows or whatever that we're gonna finish out this month, and then really look for somebody.
Yeah, yeah. I tried my hand at singing, and I'm definitely not the greatest at it, so it's not something that is in my wheelhouse as a forte.
I think I can. I don't think I'm very good. I think I can do it. Yeah. That's the difference. It's like I think I can do it. I don't want to, but I think I can.
Yeah. So I originally saw you as sports team. You were playing the drums, and now you're playing the guitar. You guys did a name change. What was the deal with the name change from sports team to TV Cop?
We found a British band on Spotify called Sports Team.
Oh yeah, I guess. Well,
and they beat us by like 6 months. They like started 6 months earlier than us.
That sucks.
Yeah.
So I guess by virtue, the change to TV Cop.
Yeah, we were like, it's time, I guess.
Yeah.
Might as well do it before we get too far.
And I feel like as like a punk band, you guys couldn't have chosen 2 cooler names either. Like,
yeah.
It's like Sports Team was perfect, and then you're like, now we're TV Cop, and it's like, well, that's awesome too.
Right, I like TV Cop.
Yeah, that's super sweet. You guys have always had a pretty good job of like color coordinating your logos with your guys' gear.
Yeah, we try a brand. You know?
You
try to be like recognizable.
Yeah, you create quite a look for yourself. You guys are definitely noticeable when you stand up on stage. That's for sure. At least by the colors, if nothing else.
Yeah.
So we got TV Cop now. There was a lineup change. But the original Sports Team, we had played a show together at the Dark Mirror House for Halloween last year. I got some of your guys' video on the YouTube channel. That actually was some of our most popular.
That got us like quite a bit of attention. Yeah, that helped us a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like just having some live shows with decent sound can at least give people a semblance of what may or may not happen, because everybody can kind of go in the studio and record stuff and make it sound perfect, but that's just the tricks of the studio.
It's a different ball game live.
Yeah, it definitely is. And I feel like there's some bands that are underrepresented in the studio, because it's you go watch them live and it's just such a fun time to watch them, or at least they bring a little bit of extra energy to the place. That's definitely one of my favorite parts about watching bands live is seeing someone that's so much more fun than you had originally thought.
Yeah.
Or especially if you go on YouTube and you look it up and somebody just has like a cell phone camera video that's not the greatest, and it's like, well, this doesn't do the band the due justice that they deserve. So, but yeah, I'm hoping to record you guys tonight. You think that'd be cool?
Oh yeah, no, that's fine. All
right, so I got that planned out for now. I did record you guys as TV Cop playing at the Vaudeville Muse, but it was during the Two Broke for the Arts Festival in 2018. And the building was so packed I couldn't set up my GoPro and everything, so I had to walk.
And Vaudeville's dark.
Yeah, so I had to walk around the people that were dancing around out front because you guys are one of those bands that make people move, and it's so
yeah,
fun.
it's fun.
So yeah, I did film another set of you guys's, and it didn't come out with the best audio because I was doing it from the floor instead of the balcony. But it came out and it worked out all right. So there are a couple videos you guys can check out of Sports Team and or TV Cop. But they got a new lineup now, so you might want to go check them out live. I'm going to try and record some of the songs tonight.
What was the first song you learned how to play?
Oh, man, that's a good one. The first song I learned how to play, this is going to be the weirdest thing to answer. I learned how to play Not Enough by Our Lady Peace.
Okay, yeah. No, I think everybody's first thing is fucking weird.
Yeah.
I do.
And
I think everybody's first shit's weird.
It was your first song.
The first thing I learned how to play on drums was Maps by the Yeah Yeah Yeahs.
Okay.
Followed by Boulevard of Broken Dreams by Green Day.
And
And then followed by Love Is Only a Feeling by The Darkness. I hit all three of those like the same time.
Love Is Only a Feeling is an amazing Darkness song.
It tricked me, like it fucked me up because it was like bump, chat, dun dun. And I never tried to do the dun dun quick together before.
Yep.
So I was like, yeah.
That's actually
stuck on
a
it.
good song to get practicing on that for, because I am just starting to learn the drums. I mean, you can teach old dogs new tricks. It's true. But yeah, I am starting to do that. Like I just started with AC/DC and I just play through an album because it's all pretty much the same. So I got like the boom chuck down.
Right, yeah.
So now next step is doing some stuff like that. It's a little bit fancier bass work instead of just doing the regular stuff.
Yeah.
What was the first song you learned on a guitar?
On guitar, I don't really know. On bass, the first thing I learned was She Hates Me by Puddle of Mud.
Yeah.
And then guitar, I don't know. Probably, honestly, I basically started playing metal instantly on guitar.
Yeah.
Like Avenged Sevenfold, Atreyu, like I was in all that stuff.
I got a buddy
tour bands.
Yeah, I got a buddy of mine that actually does that. He just looks up tabs and plays metal music, and he can shred like crazy.
That's how I learned, yeah.
But he like doesn't have any music theory knowledge.
Yeah, me either.
So I give him sparse guitar lessons. Like I said, I'm the king. I tweeted once, I'm the king of the 50-minute half-hour guitar lesson. Man, we sat down and played for like an hour and a half one night, and it was just like, oh man, yeah, we stretched this lesson out pretty long, but hey, you got your money's worth out of it, I guess. So, but yeah. It's do you know much about music theory, or is that something you just kind of play with?
No, I think I understand structure somewhat.
Yeah, you can see the shapes on the I guess guitar or piano or whatever kind of come to play, or
no, I mean like I think I understand how like lay it out.
Yeah,
like lay out a song, like write a song and part it out. And
yeah.
As far I've never ever sat down and like thought about. I guess I don't know. I can't read music. I can't any of that stuff.
So you started with tabs then, I'm sure. Yeah.
And then like I learned my chords by the time I was like 18, Beatles albums and stuff. That.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the time I was out of high school, I was like obsessed with the Beatles, so I was learning chords and all that shit. And then eventually like with this, I think metal and that kind of like blended together.
Yeah.
We're not heavy, but like the structure's there of a metal song, I think.
Yeah, I definitely like you guys don't do the intro, verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, outro.
Yeah.
Like that's like seems to be the most common setup for almost everything. And I feel like you guys steer away from that quite a bit. Whereas like I'm not 100% sure because I haven't like delved super deep into all of your songs, but I feel like some of your songs are kind of have the feel where like here comes the chorus again and it's got completely different words.
Yeah.
You know, and I always kind of enjoyed that.
It's like psych.
Yeah, it's almost like I don't want to say like 70s folkish songs, but I feel like it's kind of like that stuff where it's just like, holy cow, yeah, like this is just 7 long verses of stuff, and the chorus is the last part, but the words aren't the same. They just fit, and it sounds good. And I always thought that was pretty cool because you guys' song structures weren't super basic like
right,
most of them.
I think it keeps it interesting.
Yeah, definitely. Do you think it's tougher to get everything learned when you just have to structure it out that much, or?
Yeah, sometimes, but I think the hardest part about our songs are the chords. Like it's a lot of stretches and stuff like that. So yeah, I think once you get into it, our songs are easy. It's super simple.
Yeah.
But it kind of maybe from the outside seems like it's a bunch of parts.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
I'll definitely have to say it's quite the stretch from like the 3-Finger Betty stuff because I mean we're pretty much just fast with a lot of power chords. I mean for the most part. So you guys using larger chord structures and stretching your fingers quite a bit more than us might be. I mean, it lends itself to a completely different sound.
Right.
which is-
Yeah.
and I feel like you guys have the ability to like lend yourself to like a cleaner sound than most bands too. It's not necessarily. I guess you're not metal, so it's
Yeah.
That's just the thing about I guess being in Iowa. If you go watch a band live, so many of them are metal. So when you
Right.
find a band that's not just when they're not metal at all, it just seems
That's what a bunch of people say, especially if we're from Ottumwa, because it's a metal band town.
yeah.
And so they'll be like, "Oh, I heard this." You know, that's how they found us. Was they heard that there was this band from Ottumwa that wasn't a metal band.
Yeah.
That's how we get a bunch of things.
That's
sometimes.
actually pretty funny. So, like, I guess that would be a good thing and or a bad thing because you would stand out. But like maybe like since Ottumwa likes metal so much,
Yeah.
Or did they take to it pretty
No,
well?
they don't really care about
They
us.
didn't. Okay, so
Yeah.
that's so that comes to that's why you do so much booking out of town.
Yeah,
and
they
stuff
don't give
like
a shit.
So yeah, I mean, how many places are there to play in Ottumwa?
I mean, 1 to 2,
Yeah,
but
because I saw you play at a place in Ottumwa. Well,
it's hard to get. It's just hard to get people there.
makes sense.
That's
yeah.
all it is. There's like a bunch of bars, and it's a small but bigger town, you know. So like,
I totally get the gist.
yeah, it's hard to get people there.
Do you think it's like an older generation, or do you think it's
I think it's a mix of a bunch of shit. I don't think there's like one thing in that town that can make people show up, like outside hairball. You know, I think
Dude,
that's
those dudes are nuts? Dude.
yeah, but that's what their market is. That's, if it's on the is it on the radio? Which we're on the radio. That's the ironic thing. It's like
it is pretty cool.
eat it. You know, I
Yeah.
guess it's not what you. Nobody we work with really cares or knows. Sometimes some of them do, but like
Yeah,
a lot of people don't pay attention.
yeah. I do feel like it is kind of tough to get people to care, but at the same time, like, it's gonna come up again. Everybody's got a life, and everybody's got things going on.
A bunch of pizza delivery boys being like, "We're on the radio," and they'll be like,
Okay.
"Are you? That's cool." I bet.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's not that people don't care either, because it's Friday night. There's a million things going on. It's getting
Yeah.
close to Halloween. God knows people got kids and stuff too.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell somebody with a kid to leave their kid at home.
Right.
and
I
come to
mean,
the
they
show.
should abandon him. Maybe he'll be a good musician because he has some issues now.
Oh man, is that how it works?
I don't know.
I don't know. but yeah, I really enjoy your guys' stuff. I've always tried to
Appreciate it.
sing your guys' praise from the mountaintops because
Right.
I enjoy the kind of music, and you are quite a deviation from what normally is around here.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with metal bands. I love metal.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
we love metal.
yeah, I kind of grew up on the Megadeth kind of style of metal, which I guess lends itself to a little bit more melodic style of playing than the speedier hardcore kind
Right.
of metals that.
And we like super love Black Dahlia Murder.
Yeah,
Every one of us is like super fucking into Black Dahlia Murder. So it's just not. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, there's all different. I feel like that's something else about metal that people kind of sell up the creek. Is there's so many different flavors of metal. Whereas like blues, I could only say you can distinctify a handful of styles of blues. But,
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's like metal. There's like
There's all kinds of shit.
8, 10, 12 kinds of like basic genres of metal. And I mean, a lot of stuff.
Genres.
And a lot of stuff, yeah, that makes the subgenres where they mix the genres together. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like Iowa definitely needs more punk bands. I wish there were more around. There's like Three Finger Betty. There's you guys in TV Cop. There's the Sleepover.
No, they're super good.
I mean,
Crossing Tongues, Moonlighting, Hot Tang, like
who'd you play with in Fort Dodge when I saw you up there?
Americature.
Yeah, they were pretty good.
Yeah, and Bain Marie from Iowa City, they're super good. We play with them all the time.
I feel like we should try and set up a show maybe sometime with a whole bunch of punk bands to get everybody.
Yeah.
To go. It'd be kind of tough though, because we're all scattered from so far
Yeah.
around that it'd be hard to find a central location to.
Right. But no, I think there's a bunch of bands. I feel like maybe the state's so small that some of the music scenes are cliquey.
Yeah.
But I think once you establish yourself and a majority of people are taking you seriously, then I think it's not a big deal.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that just is just seeming official, showing up places,
Yeah.
and doing your shows when you're supposed to,
Not
and,
being dicks and
yeah, because I mean that does get old too when you kind of go out somewhere and like everybody's seen it, but you go to a show and there's 4 bands and the bands, none of them talk to each other.
Yeah.
And they all just sit there and point and whisper like while the other bands are playing. It's like, come on.
Oh, I have like a 10-year-old grudge against a band we played a show with in Ottumwa. Like, yeah. If you're a dick, I'm gonna remember. Like, and you're a band, so it's like, oh, I could have liked you.
Dude, that brings up a good point. The very first show I ever played, we played Swing Swing by the All American Rejects.
We used to cover that too.
And it was at like a high school pre-prom event. So we played this show, and everybody's like, somebody's parents were recording it, and they sent us a video, and they're in the middle of the crowd of like all these kids, like all of our peers and stuff. And we weren't bad, but it wasn't great, and you could hear people laughing almost louder than you could hear us playing. And it's like, well, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
You know, so that did kind of put a sour taste in my mouth, and that kind of made me try my best not ever to do it, like when I'm out in public and around other bands.
Right.
Even in private, it seems to like breed quite a bit of bad emotions that seem to linger longer than they ever should.
I think the strange thing of being bullied in junior high and high school when you're playing music for being in a band is really fucking weird. And it does happen, which seems so far from what you're told when you start playing guitar, like, girls are going to love you. You know, and they're like, no, the dudes in school are like, douchebag. You know, we had a bunch of rednecks that didn't like metal, and so they were always like yelling stuff at us when we'd play like outside shows there, and it was just it's just weird, but you know, that's the way it was. It was like the early I feel like it seems way different now.
I feel like it was like that way a little bit in Humboldt, but we were also just like little kids that just had like practice amps and stuff like that. Like we're in a band, and everyone's like, meh.
You paint your fingernails.
Maybe not.
Yeah,
but
the whole My Chemical Romance thing.
But you give it all the way until we were seniors. You know, we were together for 3 or 4 years, and then people were like, okay, this is pretty cool, actually.
Oh yeah, and they all turn around, and you're like, And
I feel like though everybody kind of does that the older they get, where there's like, you know, everybody went to school. The difference between your thought process as a freshman and your thought process as a senior is quite different.
100%.
Even especially how you view other people. So like, you know, everybody kind of came around and supported everybody, and it's just the way it works. But I do remember getting laughed at.
Yeah, that's like, definitely where my attitude came from. Like, oh fuck you, I'm gonna show you. You know?
Exactly. And here I am playing shows, you know, on a semi-weekly basis, and they're all out there with
jobs and money
and family and kids. One of us is doing it right. I'm not going to say one of us is not doing it right. But yeah, I don't know. I wish, you know, I don't wish any ill will on anyone or anything. And if you got a family and kids, like, that's awesome for you. I'm just a little late in life, I guess, to that game.
I don't. Yeah.
But I mean, that's just the way it goes. I'm focusing on music and going to school and stuff like that, and I guess that's just life, man.
Yeah. Fuck it, shit happens. Like,
exactly.
That's the way it is.
So we've done, let's see here, we've done about 40 minutes. I think we should probably call it good because our set is
probably gonna go on.
Yeah, our set is coming up here pretty soon. So I'm gonna shake your hand real quick here.
Yeah,
Thanks, man. Appreciate you doing the podcast.
Yeah, super fun.
You want to give any shout outs or anything, or off the cuff shout out?
TV Cop on Facebook. It's all like TV Cop IA or TV Cop _IA on Twitter and Instagram.
Yep.
We got all kinds of shit on Spotify.
You got? Oh yeah, you do.
We're gonna be on the radio Tuesday for KRUI in Iowa City. We're gonna be like playing in the radio station.
Sweet. This podcast will come out after that has happened.
How far after?
I got one scheduled for next Thursday, and this will probably be the Thursday after.
Okay. Then we have a show coming up November 16th in Ottumwa at Market on Main.
Sweet. Check them out on Facebook, Spotify,
Instagram, Twitter.
Let's bring that music Twitter back. I got Audible Farm on Twitter.
Nokia Music, iHeartRadio.
Dude, are you on iHeartRadio?
Fuck yeah.
Rock and roll. Loving it. You guys do have quite a good media distribution, too. That's pretty awesome. I will have to say that I kind of took after you guys in that aspect where it's like, well, we're getting Instagram now, and let's start using Twitter a little bit. And it's like, oh, now we need to get stuff on Spotify, guys.
It's just like bugging people.
So it is kind of nice. But yeah, thanks again, man.
Yeah, dude.
Appreciate it. I'll put links to all your guys' stuff in the description and comments section. And have a good show tonight, man.
Fuck yeah, thanks.
Right, check you later. Hey, there we go. Episode 7 is in the bank. Thanks for listening, everybody. I just wanted to take a second to thank everybody from out of state that's listening again. Appreciate it. Everybody in state, I appreciate your support. I got stickers. If you wanted to track me down at a show sometime, come say hi. Let me know who you are, if you're in a band, if you listen to the podcast, if which episodes were your favorite, who you like listening to. Maybe give me a suggestion for who to have on the podcast next. That'd be pretty awesome too. We are on social media pretty much everywhere. At Audible Farm is the tag for most of our things. We are also on Spotify. We are on SoundCloud. We are on iTunes. All the links to that should be in the bottom as well, at the very, very bottom. TV Cops got some shows coming up. If you didn't hear where they're going to be at, check out their social media platforms as well. Those are listed underneath. Just got to let everybody know I'm fielding a lot of personal friend requests on Facebook. There's a lot of people from a lot of bands sending me friend requests. If I don't know you, just let me know who you are first, and then I'll accept your friend request, just so I know you're not a bot or something like that, But other than that, yeah, follow me on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram as Audible Farm. I will interact with you on there if they feel like it. Otherwise, have a good day, everybody. Thanks for listening. Super appreciate it. Very thankful. You guys have a good one. Tune in next week. We'll check you later.